welcome. Tonight it's Female Fridays. Yes, it is. And we're going to be taking a look at shame and embarrassment and doing a meditation to clear that. And I wanted to start by, oops, just a second here. Sorry. I need my notes. I'm wanting to talk to you about the shame game before we get started. The shame game is a wonderful way to control a person. If I can hold you in a pain picture of shame, then I can pretty much get you to do whatever I want you to do. I can control you, I can program you. So holding somebody in a pain picture is a very powerful way to get someone to do what you want them to do. And I was thinking before this meditation, I sat down and was thinking of the different things that we as spirits in female bodies can be shamed about. As you can imagine, there were a number. The first to start out with is our appearance. We can be shamed about our appearance in that our bodies, our body sizes, the look, our overall look, our beauty, our weight, our love and how we love and who we love can be shamed. And last but never least, our sex life. We can be shamed for having an overabundance of sexual desire, and we can be shamed for having a lack of sexual desire. So there are a lot of things that women can be controlled through the game of shame. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do an exercise. I want to show you how you can clear this. And it doesn't have to be the big event that you've had in your life where you were horribly shamed. But what we're going to do is just take a person in your life that I know that you've had exposure to. And so there will be some level of exchange judgment between the two of you. And we're going to use that person for our exercise. And that person is going to be either a parent or a grandparent. So you can pick for yourself who you want to work with tonight, one of your parents or a grandparent. And when it comes time, I will tell you when to call on them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to do our female grounding and then move into the meditation on shame. All right, go ahead and close your eyes and get comfortable in your chair. Go ahead and put your feet flat on the ground, hips distance apart. Take a couple of big breaths in and exhale to get the oxygen going into the body. And exhale again. Bring your awareness to a point right in the center of your head, behind your sixth chakra and behind your eyes. And say hello to the base of your spine where your first chakra is. And if you are wearing a grounding cord right now, go ahead and drop it into the center of the planet. And everybody put on a brand new grounding cord. You can create it in the color that you want. You could put a pattern on it, whatever imagery you want to use. You can use a rope, a lead pipe, a tree trunk. You're going to connect that grounding cord from the base of your spine to the center of the planet and anchor it in. And you'll notice when you anchor it in, your whole body will start to relax because gravity is now starting to work with you to help you release the energy that you're ready to let go of. Go ahead and start to release the energy of responsibility. Get that out of the way so that you can enjoy the next 30 minutes all to yourself. Wherever you might be holding responsibility energy, you can now put it down your grounding cord. You might check to see if you're holding some responsibility in your jaws or your neck. And if you are, let that energy release down your grounding cord. And see if you can't release the energy of all the tasks and errands that you ran today, whether you were at work or at home or out and about, getting gas, driving. Go ahead and release all the energy of the day. Good. Now we're going to create our female grounding, which is a grounding cord underneath the uterus. And that grounding cord goes into your main grounding cord. So go ahead and create that uterine grounding. And then we're going to ground a couple of things into the uterine grounding. We're going to ground our ovaries into the uterine grounding. So draw a line of energy from your left ovary into whatever you're using for the grounding on your uterus. I like to use a tube, something big and wide, so that I can put the lines from the ovaries into the tube. And you're going to draw a line from each ovary into that tube. And as soon as you do that, those ovaries start grounding. They can be releasing all the energy that they collect up during the day for you. And then we're also going to ground the sciatic nerves into the female grounding. So create a line of energy from each of your sciatic nerves. They come up at the back by the butt dimples. So go ahead and create a line of energy from each of those points and draw them into the uterine grounding. All right, we have one more step for the female grounding, and that is to ground your female creative energy. And that gets generated out in front of your abdomen. And we want to kind of ground it so that it comes down to like a basketball. So if you're not grounding your female creative energy, it could be billowing out all over the place. So imagine a great big tube out in front of your abdomen, not at your abdomen, but out in front of it. And go ahead and start to say hello to your female creative energy that gets generated out there and ground it. Now with this grounding cord, grounding the female creative energy, we're going to release a couple of energies specifically just for the female creative energy. And the first one is problems. Go ahead and check your female creative energy. And if you see the color vibrations that light up when I say problems, go ahead and release that. And then the next energy I want you to release would be the energy of demands that get put in your female creative energy. That's what everybody else wants you to do with it. And while you're grounding your female creative energy, I'd like you to ask yourself a question, and you could use a pie, or you could just listen for an answer. The question is, what percentage of my female creative energy am I owning? In other words, what percentage out of 100% of your female creative energy are you actually utilizing for yourself? Don't be shocked. Be amused. And that's why you are taking meditation classes here on Female Fridays, so that you can learn how to retain more of your own female creative energy and not get programmed by other people's problems and demands. So good for you. All right. Then let's go ahead and ground any male energy out of that female creative energy. And that includes fathers, husbands, and sons, along with any other men. I just wanted to be clear that it's also about clearing out your family men. And some of you moms might find that that is exactly where a lot of your female creative energy winds up going to, is the male energy in your house. So the reason we ground and run energy and do energy exercises is so that you can start to see where your energy is going and be able to choose for yourself where you want it to go, as opposed to just being blindly giving away that energy because you don't realize that you've been programmed. Okay, well, we're going to start our technique now to clear shame and embarrassment. And remember, I was telling you to pick a parent or grandparent, and we're going to be using that parent. I'm going to refer to it as a parent. Okay. So we're going to be using some different techniques. Some of you may not have heard of them. We're going to be using something called neutral purple energy. And you can think of neutral purple energy as purple fairy dust. And you can imagine that you hold it in your dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so I would be holding neutral purple energy in my right hand. And when it comes time to use it, I would just throw a little of it at my screen with my right hand. And we're going to be using neutral purple to light up where we find judgment from that parent that we've picked. Now, this is not, the shame game is not about turning it into the blame game. As I was saying earlier, we're using a parent because I know you've had a lot of interaction with a parent, so we are bound to find some level of judgment, whether it's small or large, when we do this exercise. So what you're going to be doing is using a screen out in front of you. Imagine that you have your own movie screen in front of you, a nice white blank surface. I want you to go ahead and draw a real simple image of a chakra woman, which could look like a gingerbread woman. Very simple outline of a woman's shape. And this represents you. And you're going to put a grounding cord on that image of you and ground it to the center of the planet. Now, before we toss the neutral purple energy, what I'd like you to do is say hello to that parent. Just in your mind, say hello to them. And go ahead and ask them if there's anything they would like to tell you before you start. Do they have any communication for you? Okay. Now what you're going to do is after you've said hello to them and let them say hello back to you, you're going to take that handful of neutral purple energy and you're going to postulate that as you toss that neutral purple energy at the chakra woman that you drew on your screen, that neutral purple is going to light up any place where there might be judgment from that parent that you picked. So you're going to take that neutral purple and toss it out at the chakra woman, and wherever there is judgment from that parent, it's going to stick and stay neutral. It's going to stay purple. So as you toss that purple energy, you're going to find that some of it sticks in the chakra woman. Now, if you want, you can take a little look and read what the judgment is about, but it's not really necessary for this exercise. I really just want you to be able to see that purple in the chakra woman. And now what we're going to do is ground that chakra woman and clear that neutral purple, which will actually take out the judgment. So go ahead and ground that neutral purple out of your chakra body. Good. And when you think that you have all of it ground out, go ahead and just take a second look. I always like to look 2 or 3 times to see if I've missed anything. All right. Now what you're going to do is fill in the space where all of that judgment was released. So we're going to create a gold sun and fill in with the gold sun. And the next step is to ask Supreme Being to give this particular parent a forgiveness healing from you. And in this forgiveness healing, would you ask Supreme Being to show you where you have left judgment in that parent's space and help you to recover your energy back? Now, after that healing has happened with Supreme Being and your parent being given forgiveness, now I'd like you to ask Supreme Being for a healing to be forgiven. Some of you might have to ask Supreme Being to help you with your anger if you can't get past the anger. And then after your forgiveness healing has completed, ask Supreme Being to help you release the shame and embarrassment that you hold on to. And when that healing wraps up, go ahead and ask Supreme Being to fill you in with a big gold sun. Good. Now what we're going to do is go back and clear some shame and embarrassment out of the many things that women are shamed about that I was talking to you about earlier. So being in the center of your head, want you again to look out on your screen ahead of you. Make sure that you're still grounded. It's really important to be in the center of your head if you want to see energy. So from the center of your head, go ahead and create a rose or a bubble for your beauty. And let that be created on your screen, and put a grounding cord underneath it and ground it to the center of the planet. And what we're going to do is the same process, really. The first thing I'm going to do is have you toss some neutral purple into that rose or bubble to light up the judgment that is in your beauty space. So let's go ahead and do that first. And then you want to clear all of the purple that sticks. And then once all that purple is gone, then you can start saying hello to the shame and the embarrassment and release that. Because what the deal is if you go in and you try to release the shame and embarrassment first, that's very charged, painful vibration. And so it's a little easier to go in and throw the neutral purple at the judgment first, get that out of there so that you can find your neutrality to the shame and embarrassment to release it. All right, go ahead and fill that rose or bubble in with a big gold sun for your beauty. And we're going to go on to the next rose. You can blow that rose up, pop that bubble. The next rose we're going to create is for body weight. That's right, the body weight rose. Try to have some amusement when you look at that rose. And what you're looking for is the energy of judgment in it. And by the way, it doesn't have to be just that parent's judgment. This can be just your general garden variety judgment. So you're going to toss some neutral purple into that rose or bubble to light up judgment in your body weight space. Now, this is one of those times when it's really important to stay in the center of your head so that you have your neutrality to look at this. And once you see the purple energy in that rose, go ahead and ground it to the center of the planet and start moving that purple out of the rose. And then go ahead, once the purple is out of the rose, then go ahead and say hello to any shame and embarrassment that might be held in that same space with your body weight, and release that. Good. Go ahead and create a great big gold sun above your body weight rose and fill it in with gold. And then we're going to create another rose or bubble for your love. And let's go ahead and clear out any judgment in your love rose. You're going to put a grounding cord on it, throw the neutral purple at it, and ground the purple that sticks. And once that clears, go ahead and say hello to any shame or embarrassment about being judged, shame for who you love or how you love, and release that energy. All right. Go ahead and create a gold sun above that rose and fill it in with gold. Then blow up that rose, and we'll do one more rose, and this rose will represent your sexuality. And put a grounding cord on that, ground it to the center of the planet. Take your handful of neutral purple energy, toss it at the rose for your sexuality, and go ahead and start to look for the judgment wherever that purple sticks, and ground that out. Remember how important it is to stay in the center of your head so that you can have your neutrality while you look at this. So if you find yourself not being neutral, check to see which chakra you're in and move back up to the center of your head. Okay, once that purple has been grounded from your rose for your sexuality, go ahead and say hello to any shame or embarrassment that you've been holding on to in that space and release it down the grounding cord. Okay, go ahead and create a great big gold sun and fill that rose in with gold. And I think I want you to go back and ask Supreme Being for another forgiveness blessing before we wrap up. So go ahead right now and ask for a forgiveness blessing for yourself. And then also ask Supreme Being to help you call back your judgment that you may have passed along to somebody else yourself, and call that into a great big gold sun above your head so it can get neutralized back to a neutral vibration before you bring it in. So go ahead and have Supreme Being help you recover your own judgment to get that back in your body as neutral energy. And when your healing is complete, you can fill in with a great big gold sun and then come on out of trance. I'm just going to get my calendar up here. So there's something coming up. Let's see. Yes. Next Tuesday, I'm teaching a class called The Third Eye, and it's going to be on your clairvoyance, and we're going to do clairvoyant exercises. And if you enjoy learning energy tools and doing energy work, I think you'd really like this class. So please join me for that. It's Tuesday night. It starts at 7 p.m. and it goes for an hour and a half. So it will complete at 8:30. All right. And then I have other events coming up. I'll be sending the announcement out again, probably Monday, to remind everybody about the class on Tuesday. So you'll have another opportunity to see what's cooking. And I kind of made clairvoyance my topic for the month. So that is my monthly special, is a clairvoyant third eye reading healing. So for my monthly special, I'm going in and clearing out your sixth chakra, the center of your head, and looking at your information on neutrality. So if that sounds good, please text me, call me, or email me and let me know you'd like to schedule your monthly special. Okay? All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me. Okay. Good night, you guys.